Hi, it's Linda Jane Green here to spend some time with you. I've been listening to The Birth of a Brand on audiobook. That's by Brian Smith. And he's recounting his time frame with being the owner and the founder of the UGG boots, UGG UGG. He went through a lot of hard times with his business as being an entrepreneur with the boots. He physically drove up and down the sides, like the beach, the coastline of the West Coast, going in and out of ski shops. He came from Australia, and in Australia, everybody wore sheepskin boots, especially like after skiing or after surfing, because it kept the feet warm without socks. It's got the sheepskin in it that would wick the moisture and keep your feet warm. And when he came to America, he didn't understand why Americans didn't have sheepskin boots. And so he decided to bring the sheepskin boot into America, and he founded the UGG brand. And he went through a lot of hardships because other people copied what he was doing with their own brand, UGH and a couple of other brands. Thug came out and they copied him exactly, pattern, colors, everything. But it goes through all the hardship that he had going up and down the West Coast and going in and out of all the surf shops selling these sheepskin boots to surfers, because after being out on the water and surfing, it made a huge difference to be able to put your feet into the sheepskin boots for warmth and to wick the moisture. He had to have inventory. He had to have suppliers and people who manufactured the boots. He had to have the people manufacture the boots in a way that was not having glue all up on the side of the boots, because some of them were putting soles on the boots with a special glue, and then they'd smear the glue on the edges of the boot, and it just wasn't up to par. So he had a lot of trouble with manufacturers, the inventory, selling the product, explaining and demonstrating the product. He went into flea markets and had to have booths, had showings. He had to advertise. At that time, he was advertising in magazines. Physically demonstrated. He had to build up his customer relations and handle all aspects of the business wherever he had. It reminded me, not fully, because this man spent his life, years, in and out of partnerships and partners dying and the various things that he had to endure, and the different setbacks that he had to carry himself through. There was times of depression. There were times when he had customer orders and the supplier didn't have the order available, or they wanted money first before they would manufacture and supply, and huge amount of setbacks. Nothing at all anywhere near that have I ever gone into sales or marketing. I did in Texas. I had a flea market booth, and I sold various belts, and I made concho barrettes with the leather. Back then, the cowgirls really liked to wear the colored pants, the different colored jeans. You could get bright teal, hot pink, black, red, pink, various colors to stand out. And that was when they had the shirts with the yokes on the back, and it was, really colorful. The rodeo riders and the women who were doing the sports with the barrels, racing around the barrels and things. And so I was making my own barrettes with leather and suede, various colors, with the barrettes having the concho in the back and a braided bead going down the center back to kind of offset and decorate the outfits they were wearing. I sold knives, belts, belt buckles, various things like that. I had to set up, make the display, be at the booth, talk to the customers that were coming up. I also sold Avon. I'd go around door to door talking to people up to their house, and they looked forward to me coming. I'd sit and talk to people for a couple of hours and go through different items in the brochure and describe the different products and things. And sometimes after all of the walking to their house, visiting with them, sitting down for hours and having conversations, they'd only buy one lipstick. I think people were lonely. I think they enjoyed seeing me and visiting with me. It just wasn't a very profitable adventure. I also sold home interiors for a while when I lived in Texas. And that was where I had to take the product into people's homes and set it up on a display board and display it. So I had pictures and sconces and flower arrangements, vases, breakable things. And I invested in the product first, and then I would put it in the trunk of my car and then go and do these home shows. And I was the live entertainment for the party. And, the sales weren't great. A lot of work, a lot of brochures, a lot of, having to demonstrate the product and keep the product clean and nice looking, even show after show after show. And it really kind of hit home with me, my history with sales and the history that a lot of people have had with marketing before the online opportunities came on board. In fact, Brian Smith was in his book, it was talking about how he was so excited that he got in with Nordstrom. And he said these days the online marketing, you can mark prices up online. You don't even have to go all around to do all the paperwork and have all the merchandise and product out on shelves. You don't have people handling product. You don't have to be in magazines anymore. It's all online. And that was pretty interesting too. Because while the company that I'm with has been doing marketing online and teaching how to do the strategies of online marketing since 2004, I just only came on board with it recently. 5 months ago is when I found them, because it was a better opportunity for me to discuss the products and demonstrate products online to people who are interested in sending me personal messages and asking for more information. I'm still new at it. I'm still developing skills of how to go online, but I just am thankful for the classes and the roadmap and the step-by-step instructions on how to do things and how to get out there and display the product and talk to people about the product and generate an interest online, because I'm getting thousands of people looking at my ads. And I'm growing in likes on the Facebook fan page, and I do appreciate you for that. That's amazing. There's no way that I could have ever met you without being on Facebook and having a fan page and running ads. I'm just kind of sitting here nostalgic about my years in Texas. I have 2 exes in Texas. I know there's a song about my exes in Texas. My 2 older children are in Texas. I have 2 grandchildren in Texas. I was able to go there last October and visit. I went to the flea market, Trader's Village. I posted pictures of that. And all of those people have booths and storage units, and they have to sit there for hours. From the hour that it opens to the hour that it closes, they're sitting there at that booth. I've done that. I've been there. Seriously, it's a lot of work to do it the old school way, to do it where you are sitting at a booth talking to customers, hoping that one by one each individual coming around will buy, that no one will steal from you. It's a lot of work. Handing out a business card one by one to people. It's a lot of work. And I don't envy it. I'm glad I'm not there anymore. I'm never going back to that. I'm hoping that if you're doing that, if you're sitting at a bazaar, if you're sitting at a booth, if you're sitting in a flea market, if you're walking door to door and handing out business cards to people, and if you're still trying to prospect at a mall with a clipboard or put your business cards on bulletin boards, if you're still there doing things the old school way, I hope that you give this free 10-day boot camp a chance. because there's a different way of doing things, and it's online with Facebook predominantly. For me right now, that's where I'm at, Facebook. And that's social media, yes, but Facebook is making their money by having people run ads. They're actually, that is the business they're in, is ads and sales. Well, I'll let you go. I'm just sitting here enjoying my cowboy boots and my Adirondack chair out in my backyard, and I'll show you. They're all dusty. Can you see them? Yeah. I'm all decked out in my jeans today, and I got a straw hat on, and I'm just being nostalgic, thinking about Texas and the sales in the bazaars and the flea markets, and I really hope you get out of it if that's where you're at. And I'll talk to you later. I hope you have a great day. Bye.